What is up? Welcome into Driving the Line, College World Series edition. My name is Alan Bell, and we've got a great show lined up for you. Get ready for Game 1 of the College World Series final between Texas A&M and Tennessee. All right, we'll waste no time. Let's get right here with the picks and get this thing going. So, these are the 4 picks that we have. All right, over 10.5. Texas A&M first 7, team total over 3.5. Tennessee race to 5 runs, and the game to reach extra innings. I'm playing that one. If you do not, I certainly understand. Like, it is what it is in terms of a pick. All right. If you want to take a little bit of a risk, take a shot, this is the one for you. If you don't, stay away. Now, these are the ones that I have. All right. We had them on the morning show today. However, what I wanted to do was keep this one solid. All right. We all had, all day to get them. But I want to talk about some other bets. So the most important thing right here is drop in your comments, questions, thoughts, bets, anything that you have in here. We're going to talk about those. All right, we're going to break these two teams down. We're going to break down the weather because I've got sources inside the stadium, and I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and show you this. So we've been talking about the weather and it being really the first time that we've truly had the wind blowing out. All right, 10 to 15 miles per hour, northwest, 70% humidity. But here's the deal. Let me show you this. Pull myself back on here. Aubie, you're right on that. You're absolutely correct on that one, and I appreciate you. So check this out here. All right. Now, it's a little tough to see, but you'll have to do it on your own. If you zoom in, all right, on those flags, okay? This is live. Well, this is about 7 minutes ago, all right, from first base side, right field. If you scroll in on those flags, they are blowing straight out. It's even more than I thought that it would be, all right? So you have to zoom in and scroll in on that. But take all of these little white wind, whatever you want to call them, squiggly lines, all right, and adjust it a little bit left. They're blowing way out tonight. This seriously could be. Now, here's also the thing. You have excellent pitching, okay? We do not want to take that away. However, fly balls now, deep fly balls could seriously go. Now, taking a look, and I see question in the chat in regards to winning. What up, man? Maddie, what up? What up? Charles, if Prager starts, I'll take A&M. Yeah, I mean, Prager's a stud. Don't get me wrong. These two teams played 3 weeks ago. Prager started, and Tennessee had him out in 2 innings. Just dropped bombs on him. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but I don't think Tennessee's afraid of Ryan Prager. Not one bit. I mean, their 9th hole hitter was taking him deep. But again, I'm not getting at that of like, he's going to get blasted. Ryan Prager's a beast. However, this team just faced him 3 weeks ago, lit him up. Let's see. Ryan says, we're here at B. Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. You know what? And I love being here with all you guys, man. This is the absolute best time. National Championship Series starting tonight. Bobby, I'm excited too, man. Now, okay, so let's break down these two teams, all right? Because, again, Ryan Prager is a monster, all right? And this was, when I talk about a game they played a couple weeks ago, is the conference tournament. Didn't really matter for either team, so that's why I don't put a ton of stock into it. Now, they did see him, but who does that help more? Hitters to the pitchers. For the most part, it generally helps the pitchers. Like, that is where, when they see him for a second time, pitchers usually get them. So, Justin, what up, dog? Hey, man, good to see you, bud. Good to see you for sure. Okay, now, so here's the wind. Here's where we're at. All right, here are our picks again. If anybody's dropping in, over 10.5. First 7 team total over 3.5. Race to 5 runs, Tennessee minus 115. Game to reach extra innings plus 800. So, if you are looking to, should we go with the team whose fans took the most shots? Tennessee and Texas A&M were right there. I think both are 15,000. LSU fans 68,000. Now, the owner of Raising Cane's coming in and buying 25,000 shots tends to help. Peyton Manning needs to drop down there by about 30,000 if he wants to add it up. But no, man, I mean, that LSU number's a monster. Jared, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Okay, so let's talk about these two teams. And I'll pull this up on screen. And again, drop your question in the chat here. First one I see, I mean, look, Ryan Prager's a stud. Prager under 5.5 Ks? Nah. It would be hard for me to fade anything Prager. Like, especially at that number, because they're going to want him to go as long as possible. Like, you do not want to yank your starter early in game one. That is a nightmare because remember, it's a series, right? So if you're going to the bullpen in the third inning of game one, not good. Not good at all. Now, let me say this, though. So to answer to Prager, there's no way I would play under. Absolutely no way. Like, I was talking about the game, a couple weeks ago, and I'll pull myself back here. Again, that was a conference tournament game that did not matter to either team. Not that they got on the field and didn't give effort. We're not saying that. But, like, what we saw to Prager 3 weeks ago, he generally doesn't do that at all, like twice. You know what I mean? Like, expect stud Ryan Prager because that's what the dude is. So there's no way. Like, there's no way that I would take the under. So all going back, Charles's point, I can't hate it. You know what I mean? Like, anybody that takes A&M money line tonight, I can't blame you. I really can't. Like, especially, I think it's at what, like plus 145? Like, that's a solid number. Anybody that takes A&M plus 1.5, not bad. Not bad at all. Like, plus 1.5, and then if you also bet like the over of 10.5 or 11 or something, like, you could hit both, and it could be like a natural hedge too. You know what I mean? So, let's see. Tennessee minus 1.5 since it's like I don't know, man. Like, this one's gonna be tough, right? Like, that's why I bet on the extra innings. Like, I think it's gonna be pretty damn close. You know what I mean? AB, is there a way you see this going under? Do you think Tennessee? Well, here's the thing. All right. So any game in Omaha can go under, especially with the pitching. But I think that we see runs from both sides. Like let's take a look at the stats here, right? Oh man, Preston, you're right. Christian Moore, how is he not a nominee? No, I agree. All right, so let's take a look at the stats here. Like, these are the through both teams 3 games, the College World Series. So you see the batting average. Like, Tennessee clearly has had more offense, but I mean, that's what they do. A&M's bats have been a little cold, comparatively to what they've done, but they hit over 130 plus home runs this season. Like, when we talk about the weather, it's not just Tennessee. Like, A&M can hit bombs too. You know what I mean? A&M hit, to put it in perspective, A&M hit as many home runs this season as Florida State did. So, against the SEC. Like, this team could drop bombs. So, going through this real quick. All right, 3-0, 3-0, 243, 310. Runs per game, 4.6, 8.3. The runs have been quite a difference. But then again, like, Tennessee's first game against Florida State, they scored 12 runs. They certainly didn't do that, like, in the 2 others. It was, 7 and 6, right? So you see that in Tennessee's runs offensively, but you see it also in the runs allowed per game. They give up 11, right? So 1 home run for A&M, 5 for Tennessee. Offensive walks per game. This is where A&M gets it, 5.6. This team can walk, man. They can draw walks, and when it's tough to get hits, they can manufacture hits, quote unquote, right? Would I take both teams to score first 5 runs? Yes. Yeah, definitely. If it were any other park, I would take them first inning. And I'll show you why. So I went through every inning that both these teams have played in the College World Series, all 3 games for both teams. And I'll pull this full screen. Here's what they've done per inning. All right, well, total, A&M scored 14 total runs. Tennessee, 25. First inning, A&M scored 2 total runs. Tennessee, 5. Second inning, 2 to 3. Third inning, 1 for A&M, 0 for Tennessee. Fourth inning, 0 for A&M, 4 for Tennessee. Fifth inning, 1 for A&M, 3 for Tennessee. Sixth inning, 7 for Texas A&M, 2 for Tennessee. That sixth inning, 5 of those runs came in one game for A&M. So that's why that number's gaudy. They're known for having a big inning, like every game. Seventh inning, 0 for A&M, 1 for Tennessee. Eighth inning, 0 for A&M, 2 for Tennessee. Ninth inning, 1 for A&M, 5 for Tennessee. So you look at that, and let me also tell you this, and I'll pull myself on screen. You can keep that up. As this game goes, the wind is going to continue to blow out, and humidity's going up. Every 3 innings, like, I'm not kidding, this isn't hyperbole. Every 3 innings, the humidity is going to go up about 3 to 5%. So notice that the longer this game goes, you might see runs from that 6th to 9th inning. You might see a lot. Keep this in mind. If this game starts as a pitcher's duel, all right, and what I mean by that is no runs, right? You could see a live total drop to like 6.5. And I'm telling you, the humidity is going to go up by the end of this game. The wind's going to stay, and the humidity is going to go up the later it gets tonight. We'll talk about it on Twitter, but like if we see very low scoring early, wait for that number live, that total, because the books will drop it, and watch what happens at the end of this game, because both of these teams can score. This is especially Tennessee. Look at this. Tennessee scored from the 6th inning on already. What was that? 3, 5, 10 runs, right? It's pretty balanced. But watch that live bet. Like, I didn't want to put this on Twitter. I didn't want to say it in front of anyone else except you all. That's it, because I don't think anyone else is out here doing, and I'm not saying this like nobody else is doing the work. Like, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I don't think anyone else kind of has this all put together for exactly that. Like that live bet. Now you have to have low scoring, right? But, well, you don't necessarily have to have it, right? But just keep an eye on it. Like, you'll know. You know what I mean? Like, you'll be able to tell. But keep that with you. Like, I didn't want that out on Twitter. I didn't want any, like, other shows, other people, books, like, to pick up on that. Like, just us. So we'll know. But, yeah, I mean, that humidity is going to seriously rise. And, again, I go back to, like, people are going to look at the weather, and they're just going to look at, like, one thing of, hey, wind, whatever. Like, we broke it down where the wind's going to go. But, again, I'm telling you, that was, well, now 15 minutes ago. But literally right there, 12 rows from the field, right field. Like, the wind is going way in, way out, like way out. And we, like, even in that Florida-Kentucky game that we talked about, that game had 80% humidity. Like, that was a big reason why, like, things were blowing out. And I'll pull up the other screen here, the pick screen, so everybody can see what we've got. So the humidity had a lot to do with it, but still, the wind was blowing out. Like, it, not that, like, we're, like, super brilliant, but, like, the wind matters. Like, that, like, it absolutely played out here. I zoomed it in a little bit. Like, look at that. It's going way out. Like, we haven't seen the wind doing this the entire time. Yeah, they are. And A&M, like, not only can they drop bombs, like, ask Florida. Dude, A&M scored 2 runs in the first inning against Florida, and they didn't have a hit till, like, the 4th inning. Like, they cause serious problems when they draw walks. Serious problems. All right, my no run first inning concerns with Stamos. He's not been sharp his last couple times out. A&M can get one early. Yes, they could. Abby, still 85. I'm telling you, like, it's hot, dude. It's hot. It's muggy. And the wind, I mean, look, like, it's going out. We haven't even, we still haven't seen this, man. Yeah. Look at that. 80, even at 9. I'm telling you, tonight, like, keep that with you. Like, This could start low scoring. Do not be afraid. Like if you're on the over and it's 2-1, like in the fifth, like do not be afraid, man. The runs are going to come. Now, I mean, it could start hot. Like who knows? Like in terms of runs, but yeah, Obby, like 100%. Yeah. Yeah, dude, in the humidifier, bro. Yeah, man, like the wind is finally blowing. Like center field's finally in play. And it also means that dudes cannot come up and cheat in the outfield, right? So, all right, so those are the other picks from there. So go back and look at this. All right, so the runs, stats here. Look at the strikeouts per game. 9.3 and 9.3. But look at the runs allowed per game. A&M, they're averaging giving up 1 run per game. They've given up 3 runs total. Like, they're monsters, dude. Like, Charles, like what Charles was saying. Like, Prager, dude, Lampkin, like, keep going. Like, they're studs, man. Like, their starters are beasts. I have a ticket from April for Tennessee to win the World. Yeah, not bad play. You know what? Not a bad play. People in the chat are probably better than me at the hedges and like the numbers and stuff with that. But whether you do it like right now, I think A&M's what, like plus 140, I think, to win the series, something. Or you could like bet them game by game. Lance, you're probably smarter than me in regards to that. Like for real. Those things hurt my brain sometimes, and like I worry about getting it wrong. But yeah, like overall, your thought process, I'm with you, like 100%, man. Like give yourself, yeah. Did Condon win it? Charlie Condon, Golden Spikes. Makes sense. Georgia hitter. He was a monster. I agree from the earlier comment that Christian Moore should have been nominated, but I mean, Condon deserves it. Dude set the home run record. Like he's a beast, absolute beast. When I play over 12, Ooh, plus A&M's plus 190 with the series. Over 12. You know, I think at that point I would probably just go to team totals. Like I'm not against 12, but even still, like you just don't know. But again, I don't hate it. I would certainly like that wouldn't be my only bet. Like what I mean by that is this. If you play the over 12, right? I would put something like on I would play Texas A&M plus 1.5 as well. Yeah, like if it minus 105, like again, I don't hate it, but that number's large for anything. Yeah, I mean over 11.5 Japan ass. Yeah, like again, not against it. But what I would do is I would also play a second bet of like A&M plus 1.5 because my thought process is this: A&M, if they win this game, they could win and it could hit the over. If Tennessee wins this game, it's hitting the over. Right? Like I don't see Tennessee winning like a 3-1 game. I could see A&M doing that. Right? I mean, I could see A&M losing 6-5, 7-6, right? I don't know. I like what I'm getting at is that I would have something on A&M as well. Like something that like you're either going to hit one or the other. And you could hit both. If that makes sense. I hope that made sense. I know. Do you have a lean money line wise? Yeah, like okay, so great question. Tonight with the wind could like okay. I think Texas A&M's advantage is pitching. I think Texas A&M's advantage are walks. But if the wind is blowing heavily out and it's hot, Tennessee has so many dudes that can hit bombs that it could negate that. You see what I'm saying? Like, out of Tennessee's 9 hitters, 5 of them have 20-plus home runs. It's unheard of. And if deep fly balls are going out, it could negate that. So I say that to say game one, I like Tennessee. I think that the weather conditions kind of not negate in full, but like they certainly go against A&M and what they want. A&M would definitely want wind blowing in, right? Like that's their style. Make Tennessee get base hit after base hit and get walks and do all that kind of stuff, right? Instead of just being able to, oh well, they could drop bombs. If the wind were completely opposite, weather were completely opposite, I would probably go A&M. But again, that's game one. We'll have to see what game two is. Okay, and another thing is this. So somebody brought it up earlier. Let me find the comment. All right, sorry. Oh yeah, Chris, my man Chris. All right. So with Stamos. So Stamos is Tennessee's number one starter, but they parrot AJ Causey. Don't be surprised because everything that Chris said right here is 1,000% correct. You could see Tennessee go to Causey in the first inning. Not kidding. Second inning. Like, if Stamos is not dealing, they could grab him very quickly. So, yeah. Like, Tennessee doesn't want to go to the pin either, but, like, they've done that all year. Like, that's not necessarily, like, going to the pin. Like, they're kind of built together as a one, if that weirdly makes sense, right? If they get to Causey early as well, then I would feel very good about that over. But long story short, man, like I if I were playing over 12, I would bake in a bet with A&M, whether you took a money line, whether you took a plus 1.5. Yeah. Like, to answer your question, Corey. Yeah. Like I feel Tennessee in this one. Effort, what up? Look, 8-4. Yeah. The last one was 7-4. The Tennessee beat Prager and A&M. Again, that game wasn't what this is, so I don't put too terribly much stock into it. It'd be crazy if Tennessee went crazy. Right. Like, they could. And the crazy thing is that A&M could too. Like, A&M's just as good to do that. You know what I mean? Stamos has not survived the first. Yep, he hasn't. Like, that's the thing. Like, that could very much happen. Very much happen. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, ask Florida State. Florida State made one error in the first inning of the previous game, the second one that they had played, right, to get to here. And it was 3 runs. One error. It was 3 runs immediately, right out of the gate. Florida State was done in the first inning. I mean, they absolutely were. It is contagious. Now, you remember that 2022 team, that set like the home run record, but they didn't even get to the World Series. They lost Notre Dame in the Super Regionals. Like, a lot of those guys were on this team. Blake Burke, Christian Moore. Like, they were young cats on that team. This is a different attitude team. Like, they expect to win. Now, you can expect to win and get your ass kicked. Like, it's baseball, man. But, yeah. I think it'll be like a Florida game. I do too. Got to get the ball up, though. Prager's tough dude to hit. Tough dude to hit. If he's on a roll, it's going to be tough. You're going to see Tennessee try to work counts. You're definitely going to try it. Dakota, A&M minus. Yep. I think that's a great bet. Like, it could be 13-12. Like, these two teams are very identical. Very. They go about it a little bit of a different way. But, like, there are very few flaws in both of these teams. Like, go look. Like, I don't know. Tennessee only lost back-to-back games once this year, and that was in the first weekend of conference play against Alabama, at Alabama. Literally the rest of the year, they didn't lose back-to-back games. And I think that A&M is probably very close to that, if not doing the same thing. Like, these two teams they don't lose much. They just don't lose much, man. Yeah, A&M plus 1.5, even money on DK. This team is really tough. They are. 100%. They've been through everything. They've been through every style of game, and they've survived. So, all right, we'll get out of here. Game's about to start. I appreciate you guys. I know that this one was a little bit different. Like we didn't have to really wait for props, so that was nice. Shout out to the books on that one. But as we go out, Hawk, there you go, John. Yeah, over 10.5. Texas A&M first 7. Team total over 3.5. Tennessee raced to 5 runs. Game to reach extra innings. Play that if you want. Plus 800. Let me say this as we go out. Again, make sure to watch the live total as we go through the game. Basically, like the 5th to the 6th inning and on. Pay attention to that. Big Charles McDonald said, hey, man, look, A&M is monsters, dude. Like, they don't stop, man. Like, I think we're going to have a hell of a series. Man. I can't wait to watch it. Like, this, Aggies are good, boy. He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong at all. Matt, hey, Brian, Aubie, Matt, hey, dude, thank you for saying that. Hey, thank you guys, right? For real. Like, thank you guys. And we'll go live again tomorrow. I think the game is at 2 p.m. Eastern. Like, it'll be 30 minutes before. We'll have a morning show on Sunday. If we have props, I'll get them out as soon as possible. But if we don't have the props, which there's a chance that we don't, then we'll have the show before this one, right? So I'll make sure to get them to you either way as soon as possible. But yeah, pay attention to that live over as we go, and pay attention to the weather as it goes along. That humidity in the wind gonna be blowing up. So, yep. All right. Appreciate it, man. Y'all are the best. That's fun. Watch this game. Look at Big Grimace. Look at him. My boy. All right. It's being dumb. All right. Everybody, best of luck. Cash these tickets. We'll talk on Twitter. And I will see you all tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern at the latest. But you know me. I like to get these things out right after midnight. So, all right. Best of luck. We'll talk. Peace.